Welcome to Learning Machine, Dismantling Poverty Consciousness, Unveiling the Path to Limitless Abundance. In the intricate tapestry of human beliefs, few threads run as deeply and with such pervasive influence as our perceptions about money and wealth. For many, the notions surrounding money are fraught with anxiety, guilt, and limitations. This is the realm of poverty consciousness, a mindset characterized by feelings of scarcity, unworthiness, and the idea that there's never enough. Such beliefs, often handed down through generations, not only shape our personal relationships with money, but also mold our collective narrative, influencing entire communities and societies. Dismantling Poverty Consciousness is not just another book on wealth creation or the principles of manifestation. Instead, it delves deep into the heart of why so many of us feel trapped by lack and offers a blueprint to break free. By understanding the roots of poverty consciousness, especially its disproportionate grip on communities of color, we can begin to unravel the tightly held beliefs that keep abundance at arm's length. Throughout this journey, we'll dispel myths that have long associated money with evil or greed. We'll challenge deeply held sayings and cliches that, while seemingly benign, perpetuate a mindset of scarcity. More importantly, we'll learn that embracing prosperity is not just about accumulating material wealth, but about fostering spiritual growth, embracing self-worth, and understanding that abundance is our birthright. Every chapter is a step toward freeing ourselves from the chains of lack, toward understanding that money and spirituality are not at odds, and toward recognizing that our potential for abundance is limitless. As we challenge old paradigms, we'll also be introduced to counter-thoughts and practices, creating a new narrative that aligns with prosperity and well-being. This book is an invitation, a call to shed limiting beliefs, to embrace a universe that is generous, and to step into a life where prosperity in all its forms is not just a distant dream, but a daily reality. Prepare to embark on a transformative journey, one where we're not just seeking wealth, but redefining our very relationship with abundance. Let's begin the sacred work of dismantling poverty consciousness.
Intergenerational trauma, the echoes of systemic oppression. Intergenerational trauma is a haunting echo from the past that often reverberates into the present. It's a lingering shadow cast by the systemic oppression that many communities, especially communities of color, have endured over the years. The trauma experienced by previous generations doesn't simply dissipate with the introduction of new laws or policies. Instead, like a persistent specter, it finds ways to embed itself into the fabric of families and communities, often transferring silently from one generation to the next. Children, with their innate sense of curiosity and wonder, begin to understand their place in the world from an early age. As they grow and interact with their surroundings, they are not just passive observers. They absorb, internalize, and reflect. And sometimes, what they absorb are not uplifting tales of hope and dreams, but painful stories of limitations and restrictions. These lessons aren't always overt or explicitly taught. More often than not, they're gleaned from the lived experiences of their elders, from the subtle tones of caution in their voices, or from the resigned sighs that follow tales of days gone by. It's in these formative years that children begin to form an understanding of what the world expects from them, and more importantly, what they should expect from the world. They learn of boundaries, not just physical, but those boundaries that are drawn by society, sometimes in invisible ink on the canvas of their potential. It's a daunting realization for a young mind, understanding that there exist ceilings on dreams, largely due to factors beyond one's control. This inherited trauma isn't just a relic of the past, it's a living, breathing entity that continues to shape perceptions, aspirations, and interactions. Addressing and healing from it isn't just about acknowledging the past, but about actively reshaping the narrative for the generations to come.
Survival over thriving, the legacy of systemic oppression. In the mosaic of human existence, every community aspires to color its canvas with dreams of prosperity, growth, and collective joy. However, when the dark shadow of systemic oppression looms over a community, those dreams often get obscured by the more immediate and pressing need for survival. This battle between mere survival and the desire to thrive underscores a significant consequence of systemic discrimination and marginalization. At the heart of systemic oppression is an intricate web of policies, attitudes, and structures designed to marginalize certain groups limiting their access to resources, opportunities, and often their basic human rights. Over time, these barriers impose an exhausting weight on the oppressed, compelling them to shift their focus from aspirations of abundance to the more immediate concerns of existence. Such relentless pressure molds the collective psyche of a community, conditioning it to prioritize today over tomorrow, instant relief over sustained growth, and immediate needs over long-term ambitions. This survivalist mindset isn't a choice, but a necessary adaptation. When faced with consistent adversity, human nature tends to prioritize the most pressing concerns. However, when this state of heightened alert becomes the norm rather than the exception, it takes a toll on the community's vision of the future. Dreams of starting businesses, acquiring assets, or investing in education often take a backseat when the primary concern is ensuring food on the table or a roof overhead. Yet, this survival-first mentality is not indicative of a lack of ambition or foresight within these communities. Instead, it's a testament to their resilience and strength, qualities honed over years of battling systemic challenges. Despite the adversities, the indomitable spirit of these communities often shines through, as they consistently find innovative ways to navigate the oppressive systems while keeping their cultural and communal identities intact. Addressing the paradigm of survival over thriving requires more than just acknowledging the damage caused by systemic oppression. It necessitates a collective effort to dismantle the structures of discrimination, providing these communities with the resources, opportunities, and space they need to shift their gaze from mere survival to a flourishing future. Only then can the narrative truly change, allowing communities to paint their canvas not just with the hues of resilience and survival, but with the vibrant colors of prosperity and growth.
Distrust in systems, the shadows of institutional betrayal. In the tapestry of societal interactions, trust plays an indispensable role. It's the glue that binds individuals to institutions, ensuring a harmonious interplay that fuels progress and mutual growth. However, for communities that have been repeatedly let down or actively harmed by these very institutions, this trust is not just eroded, but often replaced with a profound sense of distrust. The consequences of this fractured relationship, particularly concerning financial and governmental systems, can reverberate through generations, hindering avenues of economic advancement. A history punctuated by betrayals, broken promises, and systemic neglect creates more than just individual scars. It shapes the collective psyche of a community, fostering an environment of skepticism. When institutions which are meant to protect, uplift, and empower become the very sources of disenfranchisement, the natural response is a wary hesitance. This hesitance, while a logical protective mechanism, unfortunately, can have unintentional side effects. Consider the realm of finance, where trust is paramount. Whether it's taking out a loan, investing in a new venture, or even something as basic as opening a bank account, each step requires a leap of faith in the system. For someone hailing from a community with a history of institutional betrayal, such leaps might seem perilous. The fear isn't just about potential economic loss, but is deeply rooted in the apprehension of being exploited yet again by a system that has historically been viewed with suspicion. Similarly, interactions with governmental bodies, which are often riddled with bureaucracy and red tape, become daunting endeavors. The reluctance to engage isn't always based on the complexity of processes, but stems from a deeply ingrained fear of potential pitfalls or adverse outcomes. This caution, while protective, can sometimes act as a barrier to accessing services, rights, or opportunities that can pave the way for economic and social upliftment. The narrative of distrust in systems isn't a commentary on a community's inherent skepticism, but rather a reflection of their personal experiences. To shift this narrative, there's an urgent need for institutions to acknowledge their past missteps and actively work towards rebuilding this lost trust. True progress can only be achieved when communities can engage with financial and governmental systems without the shadows of past betrayals looming over them. Only then can they confidently take the risks necessary to propel them toward economic advancement and a brighter, more secure future.
Poverty consciousness, often viewed as an internal mindset more than an external circumstance, serves as a silent jailer, confining its captives within walls of lack, scarcity, and limitation. It isn't merely the state of being physically impoverished. It's the internalized belief that one deserves no better. That scarcity is inevitable, and that abundance is reserved for the few. Such a mindset, although deeply ingrained in many, can be challenged and transformed. At its core, poverty consciousness is a deeply held belief system that centers on notions of lack and insufficiency. This mindset isn't birthed in a vacuum. It is often the offspring of intergenerational experiences, societal narratives, and personal encounters with deprivation. When people grow up seeing their parents, grandparents, and community members constantly struggle, they begin to internalize the idea that struggle is their destiny too. Furthermore, societal narratives play a crucial role. The media, literature, and even well-intentioned educational materials can perpetuate stereotypes that certain groups or communities are inherently destined to remain in poverty. The consequences of poverty consciousness, operating from a standpoint of scarcity, invariably influences one's decisions, aspirations, and even interpersonal relationships. People with a deeply embedded poverty consciousness limit their aspirations. They may feel undeserving of success or believe it's unattainable. Avoid risks. Taking a chance on a new job, business venture, or investment seems too perilous, reinforcing the cycle of lack. Develop a heightened sense of competition. When resources are viewed as limited, every other individual is seen as a competitor, leading to strained community relationships and missed opportunities for collaboration. Transforming this mindset requires both introspection and active efforts. Here are some strategies to overcome poverty consciousness. Self-awareness and reflection. Recognize and acknowledge any self-limiting beliefs. This is the first step towards challenging and changing them. Educate yourself. Delve into literature that promotes abundance mentality and personal growth. Books like The Vortex by Esther and Jerry Hicks and The Secret by Rhonda Byrne offer tools to shift from a scarcity to an abundance mindset. Affirmations. Positive affirmations can rewire the brain. Phrases like, "I am deserving of abundance," "Opportunities constantly come my way," or "I create my reality," can counteract negative, limiting beliefs. Visualization. Mentally visualizing success and abundance can help in manifesting them. The process of seeing oneself in a prosperous state can challenge and eventually change deep-seated beliefs about scarcity. Community building. Surrounding oneself with positive, forward-thinking individuals can counteract years of negative reinforcement. These networks often serve as support systems, encouraging risk-taking and aspiration. Seek mentorship. Learning from individuals who have successfully navigated their way out of scarcity can provide both practical strategies and psychological encouragement. Financial literacy. Equip yourself with knowledge about managing and investing money. Often, a lack of knowledge can perpetuate feelings of disempowerment. While poverty consciousness can grip individuals and communities in a cycle of scarcity and lack, it isn't an inescapable fate. Through understanding, self-awareness, education, and community support, one can rewrite the narrative, moving from a state of lack to one of abundance and prosperity. Certain sayings and cliches, often passed down through generations, can inadvertently reinforce poverty consciousness by emphasizing lack, limitation, and a mindset of scarcity. Here are some commonly known phrases that may perpetuate such beliefs. Money doesn't grow on trees. Implication. Money is scarce and hard to come by. We're not made of money. Implication. There's a finite amount of money available and it's running out. A penny saved is a penny earned. While advocating prudence, it also suggests that one must hoard to ensure they have enough. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Implication. You must choose between two good things. You can't have both. Beggars can't be choosers. Implication. If you're in need or lacking, you shouldn't have preferences or standards. It's too good to be true. Implication. One shouldn't trust abundance or good fortune when it appears. Born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Implication. Only certain people are destined for wealth and others aren't. Keeping up with the Joneses. Implication. One's worth or success is measured by comparing to others, leading to never feeling enough. Easy come, easy go. Implication. Money or abundance that comes easily won't last. Another day, another dollar. Implication. Life is a grind, and one only earns a meager amount, no matter how hard they work. Pinching pennies. Implication: one must be excessively frugal or save even the smallest amounts due to impending scarcity. Money is the root of all evil. Implication: pursuing money or wealth is inherently wrong or leads to corruption. Rich get richer, and the poor get poorer. Implication: economic mobility is impossible, and one's financial fate is predetermined. While many of these sayings might have origins in genuine advice or observations about certain economic realities, they can, if internalized without context, perpetuate a mindset of scarcity and limitation. Recognizing these phrases and reflecting on how they shape one's relationship with money can be the first step in shifting away from poverty consciousness.